There are more than 140 million orphans worldwide who, without the love of a family unit, are among the most vulnerable people on the planet. Widows are often forgotten too. Nearly half of the world's population lives on less than $3 per day, and some estimates indicate that 70% of those in extreme poverty are women. Often, the root causes for family distress and separation can be prevented. Yet money and material goods alone cannot break the cycle of poverty, perpetuating through generations. The needs are also spiritual and social. Left unattended, the cycle of poverty will continue. The good news is that God has never once forgotten the orphan and the widow. He has always been and still is at work, defending vulnerable people within their communities by raising up godly men and women to care for them. Our partners at 127 Worldwide are among these warriors.
Jeffrey grew up an orphan in war-torn northern Uganda. Today, he leads an organization focused on providing physical, emotional, and spiritual nourishment for children. Rose grew up the youngest child of a peasant farmer. Today, she is helping children in rural western Kenya grow up with hope for a better future and with a clear understanding of the gospel. David grew up learning and caring about the needs of others. Today, he is a pastor in his home country of Guatemala. He has planted a church in a resettlement village where the needs are vast and urgent. Peter was impacted when someone sponsored his education and spiritual development. Today, he meets physical and spiritual needs of teens living in the largest slum in Kenya.
Only God can truly restore hope, and He is doing this through the ministries of local leaders all over the world. Our partners are making a huge impact in their local contexts. They are each a living, breathing testimony of the faithfulness of God, and they are native to their communities and experts in the local languages and culture. This makes them the best suited people to meet the needs of their own communities and minister to them in effective, Christ-honoring ways. That is why we serve as a catalyst that equips our partner ministries to grow all the more effective for the glory of God. We provide training from experts in various fields like theology, agricultural sustainability, organizational leadership, and medicine. And we invest in programs focused on empowerment and prevention. But it doesn't stop there. We believe one of the most empowering things we can do for our partners is connecting them to you, your community, and your church.
God's unyielding love calls out to us in James 1:27. Pure and undefiled religion before God the Father is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress. Every single Christian is called to live out James 1:27. It's our responsibility, but even more, it is our beautiful opportunity.
So 127 Worldwide is connecting and equipping the global body of Christ to restore hope to orphans, widows, and vulnerable communities. And by equipping you to become advocates who invest in our partners, we make it simple for you to tangibly live out James 1:27. We've already done the work of vetting the ministries of our partners and the local men and women who lead them. We are ready to educate you, your community, and your church on best practices, and we'll help proclaim the theology that shapes the way we care for orphans, widows, and vulnerable communities.
We're equipping our partners, and we're equipping you, and we're connecting you to one another. This leads to empowerment. Chris was raised by his grandmother and lived in the slums of Kibera. Peter began mentoring him 15 years ago, and now Chris is preparing to lead Swahiba in the next generation. Samuel lost both of his parents in a landslide when he was 9. Today he is in university studying to become an engineer. Rose frequently invites him to come back and invest in the next generation of students. Connect, equip, empower.
By God's grace, the plan is working. God is already caring for orphans, widows, and vulnerable communities in their distress, and His plans cannot fail.
Will you join Him? Will you join us as we live out James 1:27 together?